Good evening, my name is Darlyn and Nueca from V.BSA-1B. My topic is about management tactics of IPM, integrate pest management, and features of IPM. So first, what is IPM? IPM or Integrated Pest Management is a holistic approach to managing pests in agriculture. It involves the use of variety of techniques including prevention, monitoring, cultural controls, biological controls, and chemical controls as a last resort. To manage pest population, minimize the use of chemical pesticides. The traditional approach to pest control involves the use of chemical pesticide as a primary method of managing pests. However, this approach has several drawbacks. Chemical pesticides can be expensive, pose health and environmental risks, and can lead to development of pesticide-resistant pests. IPM offers a more sustainable and effective alternatives to traditional pest control methods. These are the benefits of IPM. First is to reduce reliance of chemical pesticides, improve crop health and yields, and reduce environmental impacts, reduce cost of pest control, reduce the risk of pesticide resistance. By using a variety of techniques to manage pests, farmers can reduce the needs for chemical pesticides and improve crop health and yields. This can also lead to a reduction in environmental impacts associated with chemical pesticides use, such as water pollution to harm to non-target organisms. Additionally, IPM can help reduce the cost of pest control by using less expensive methods such as cultural controls and biological controls before resorting to chemical controls. Finally, by using a variety of techniques to manage pests, farmers can reduce the risk of developing pesticide-resistant pests, which can make it more difficult to control them in the future. Understanding pests. Pests can cause significant damage to crops, leading to reduced yields and economic losses for farmers. Here are some common types of pests that can affect crops. First is the insects, like aphids, caterpillar, beetles, and moths. These insects can feed on plant tissues, causing damage to leaves, stems, and fruits. They can also transmit diseases and virus to crops. Number 2 is diseases. These diseases can cause discoloration, wilting, and rotting of plant tissues. They can also reduce crop yields and quality. Next one is weeds. These weeds can compete with crop for water, nutrients, and light. They can also harbor pests and diseases that can affect crops. It is important for farmers to be aware of the different type of pests para maiwasan at maprotektahan nila yung mga crops at malaman yung mga process kung paano maprotektahan ito using the IPM method. Farmers need to be aware of pests like insects, diseases, and weeds because they pose a significant threat to crop productivity and profitability. By being vigilant and taking proactive measures to manage these pests, farmer can minimize their impact while promoting sustainable agriculture practices. Next one is prevention and monitoring. First, crop rotation is a farming practice that involves growing different crops in a specific sequence in the same field. In Tagalog, it is called pagbabago ng pagkainan. This technique helps to reduce the build-up of pests and diseases in the soil and on crops, making it an important component in prevention and monitoring in the practice of integrated pest management. When the same crop is grown in the same field year after year, Pests and diseases are specific to that crop, can build up in the soil and on plant debris. This can lead to increased population of these pests and diseases, which can cause significant damage to the crop. Crop rotation helps to disrupt the life cycle of pests and diseases that are specific to each crop, as they will not have a continuous source of host plant. For example, a farmer might grow rice, followed by a corn, followed by soybean. This helps to reduce the build-up of pests and diseases that are specific to each crop, as they will not have a continuous source of host plant. Additionally, different crops have a different nutrient requirements, which can help to maintain soil health and reduce the buildup of pests and diseases. Second one is the sanitation. Sanitation is a crucial component of prevention and monitoring in the practice of integrated pest management, because it helps to reduce the population of pests by removing their breeding sites and sources of food. By maintaining good sanitation practices, farmers can prevent the buildup of pests and diseases, reducing the need for chemical control measures. This can lead to significant cost savings and promote sustainable agriculture practices. In summary, sanitation is a super short way to say keeping things clean in the context of IPM, as it helps to prevent pests from spreading and multiplying. And we also have a biological control. Biological control methods involve using natural predators, parasites, or pathogens to control pest population. This component of IPM is crucial for prevention and monitoring, as it reduces the reliance on chemical pesticides, which can have negative environmental and health impacts. By introducing natural enemies of pests, farmers can control pest populations without causing harm to beneficial insects or other non-target organisms. Additionally, biological control methods can be more cost-effective in the long run, as they do not require repeated application of chemicals. In summary, biological control methods are also a super short and effective way for farmers to prevent and monitor pest population in a sustainable and environmentally friendly manner. Also, monitoring is a crucial component of prevention and monitoring in the practice of IPM, because it allows farmers to detect pest problems early and take appropriate action before the pest population explodes. By monitoring crops regularly, farmers can identify the presence of pests, diseases, or weeds and assess their population levels. This information helps farmers make informed decisions about whether to implement control measures or continue with preventive measures. Monitoring is also important for evaluating the effectiveness of control measures and adjusting the IPM strategy accordingly. In short, monitoring is a key element of IPM because it enables farmers to prevent pest problems from escalating into full-blown infestation and minimize the use of pesticides by targeting control measures precisely where they are needed. We also have a cultural control. Crop selection is a crucial component of cultural control in the practice of integrated pest management, because they can help farmers avoid planting crops during the times when pests are most active or abundant. By planting at the right time, farmers can reduce the need for chemical pesticides and minimize the risk of crop damage. For example, planting crops after the peak season of a particular pest can help farmers avoid heavy infestation, while by replanting crops during cooler months can reduce the spread of diseases. By incorporating planting dates into their IPM strategies, farmers can promote sustainable agriculture practices that prioritize natural pest control methods over chemical interventions. Next is crop spacing. Crop spacing is a component of cultural control in IPM because it affects the density and distribution of crops, which can influence the population dynamics of pests by increasing the distance between plants. Farmers can reduce the likelihood of pests finding suitable hosts and spreading diseases. This can also improve airflow and reduce humidity, making it less conducive to pest development. Additionally, wider spacing can allow for better access to sunlight, nutrients, and water, which can lead to healthier plants that are better able to withstand pest pressure. Overall, crop spacing is a simple yet effective cultural control measure that can help farmers manage pests in a sustainable and environmentally friendly way. We also have biological control. Biological controls involve natural means to manage pests and improve crop health. The first one, we have a natural predators like ladybird beetles, lacewings, and parasitic wasps. Natural predators are insects or other organisms that feed on pests. By introducing natural predators into crops, farmers can help control pest population without using chemical pesticides. The next one is parasites like nematodes and fungi. Parasites are organisms that live on or in other organisms such as pests. Introducing parasites into crops, farmers can help control pest population without using a chemical pesticides. Number 3 is pathogens like bacteria and viruses. Pathogens are organisms that cause diseases in other organisms such as pests. By introducing these pathogens into crops, farmers can help control pest population without using chemical pesticides. Biological controls are important component of IPM because they help farmers reduce the needs for chemical controls and minimize the impact of pests on crops. By using these methods, farmers can also reduce environmental impacts associated with chemical pesticides use and improve sustainability. Last one, we have chemical controls. These chemical controls that uses as a last resort on integrated pest management. Chemical controls, also known as chemical pesticides, are a last resort in integrated pest management due to their potential negative impacts on human health and environment and non-target organisms. IPM is a holistic approach to pest management that emphasizes the use of non-chemical methods such as biological control, cultural practices, and crop rotation to manage pest populations. Farmers should only use chemical pesticides when all other management tactics have failed to control the pest population. This is because chemical pesticides can have adverse effects on beneficial insects, pollinators, and other non-target organisms that are essential for healthy ecosystem. Additionally, overuse of chemical pesticides can lead to the development of pesticide resistance in pests, making it harder to control them in the future. When using chemical pesticide, farmers should follow responsible and safe practices. This includes reading and following the label instructions carefully, applying pesticides at the right time and in the right way to minimize exposure to humans, animals, and the environment. Using personal protective equipment such as gloves, masks, and protective clothing to minimize exposure to the pesticide. Storing pesticides properly, disposing of empty containers safely, avoiding spray drip by using low exposure sprayers, and avoiding windy conditions. Rotating chemical classes to prevent development of resistance in pests. Monitoring pest population regularly to determine when chemical control is necessary. Conducting regular safety training for farm workers and implementing a safety plan for handling and applying pesticides. In conclusion, chemical controls should be used as a last resort in IPM due to their potential negative impacts on human health, the environment, the non-target organisms. Farmers should only use chemical pesticides when all other management tactics have failed to control the pest population and should follow responsible and safety practices when using them. By following these guidelines, farmers can minimize the risks associated with chemical controls while still effectively managing pest population in their crops. Here are some examples of successful IPM program. First is agriculture. The use of IPM in cotton farming has significantly reduced the need for chemical pesticides, leading to improved water quality, reduced pesticides exposure for farmers, and increased biodiversity. Number 2 is in horticulture. Integrated pest management has been successfully implemented in greenhouse production system where pests such as aphids and whiteflies are controlled by using biological agents like predatory mites and parasitic wasps, resulting in healthier plants and reduced pesticide use. Number 3 is the urban settings. IPM has proven effective in urban pest management such as controlling cockroaches, rodents, and mosquitoes through techniques like habitat modification, exclusion, and targeted pesticides application, resulting in improved public health and reduced chemicals exposure. Next is challenges and limitations of IPM. Resistance management. The first one is resistance management. Pests can develop resistance to control measures used in IPM programs, requiring continuous monitoring and vigilance to implement appropriate countermeasures. Number 2 is knowledge and training. Implementing IPM effectively requires knowledge and training in pest identification, monitoring techniques, and the selection of application of appropriate control methods. Number 3 is cost and time constraints. Proper implementation of IPM may require additional resources such as equipment, trained personnel, and regular monitoring, which can pose financial and time challenges for some individuals or organizations. Next is tips for implementing IPM. First is education and training. Promote regular training and education on IPM principles for farmers, horticulturists, and pest controls professionals to enhance their understandings and skills in implementing IPM strategies effectively. Number 2 is collaboration and information sharing. Encourage collaboration among stakeholders, including farmers, researchers, extension services, and policymakers to share knowledge, experiences, and best practices for successful IPM adoption. The next one is integrated approach. Emphasize the importance of adopting a holistic approach that combines multiple pest management strategies such as cultural practices, biological controls, and judicious use of pesticide for optimal pest control with minimal environmental impact. In conclusion, integrated pest management or IPM offers a sustainable and effective approach to pest management in agriculture, horticulture, and urban settings. By properly implementing IPM strategies, positive outcomes including reduced reliance on chemical pesticides, improved environmental and human health, and long-term sustainability can be achieved. It is crucial for individuals and organizations to adopt IPM practices and collaborate to overcome challenges and ensure successful implementation of IPM for sustainable pest management.